Hello and welcome to Dhyeya. Welcome to this comprehensive video on India's scheduled areas and the governance framework established to protect the rights and welfares of the scheduled tribes. Firstly, let's clarify the difference between scheduled and tribal areas in India. Scheduled areas are the regions designated by the President, while tribal areas are areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram with district or regional autonomous councils. These areas are defined under the Constitution. The 5th schedule defines scheduled areas under Article 244 Clause 1, while the 6th schedule defines tribal areas under the Article 244 Clause 2. Scheduled areas cover 11.3% of India's land in 10 states including Andhra Pradesh, Telangana among others. Kerala is also seeking to designate some of its area as scheduled. However, many tribal villages still remain excluded. Dhyeya committee recommended including these excluded villages, but this has not been implemented due to the absence of ST majority administrative units. Now, let's understand the criteria for identifying scheduled areas. The 5th schedule gives the President the exclusive power to declare an area as a scheduled area. The criteria for designating an area as scheduled area is based on the 1961 Daber Commission's report. The criteria for designating an area as scheduled area includes having a tribal population of at least 50%, compactness, reasonable size, viability as an administrative unit like a district, block or taluk, and economic backwardness compared to its neighboring areas. Now, let's look at the challenges in identifying these scheduled areas. Despite persistent demands by the Adivasi organizations, many villages with ST populations remain outside the ambit of Article 244. Consequently, 59% of India's ST do not benefit from the laws applicable to the scheduled areas. These exclusions extend to critical legislations like the Right to Fair Compensation and Transparency in Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act of 2013, the Biodiversity Act of 2002. To address these issues, we should designate habitats in states and union territories with ST majority as scheduled areas regardless of contiguity. Additionally, we must expand geographical boundaries to include community forest resource areas where relevant and define customary boundaries revenue lands through legal amendments. Furthermore, redrawing the geographical limits of revenue villages, panchayats, talukas and districts is essential to ensure the comprehensive inclusion of scheduled areas. Now, let's understand the governance in scheduled areas under the 5th schedule. The President designates scheduled areas and states with them have tribal advisory councils. These councils advise the governor on ST welfare and the governor reports to the President annually. Tribal advisory councils are essential for the welfare and progress of scheduled tribes. They consist of representatives from the STs in the State Legislative Assembly. The governor has the authority over laws within the scheduled areas, including regulations on land transfer and money lending to the STs. The PESA Act of 1996 empowers local Gram Sabhas and promotes direct democracy in the scheduled areas. There are several challenges with the 5th schedule as well, including limited powers to the tribal advisory councils and the ambiguity surrounding the governor's discretionary powers. Another challenge is the insufficient protection against land encroachment by the non-tribal entities. Regulations governing TACs, the tribal advisory councils, are sometimes framed by state governments, allowing political parties to exert control. Key recommendations for enhancing the 5th schedule include strengthening institutions, promoting inclusive development, social welfare, resource allocation, capacity building, and devolving powers to the local councils. The shift in government's attitude toward development and welfare of the scheduled areas is very crucial for their overall growth. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. If you found this video insightful, do not forget to like, share and subscribe for more such insightful content. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay informed, stay curious.